Welcome to Reimagining Education, a podcast by Michigan International Prep School. I am Amy Dunlap, and we are continuing this Northwood University series today. And I am joined by Jarrett Wagner, a Master's of Business Administration student, and Sydney Rizzo, also a Master's of Business Administration student. Thank you both for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, of course. So I'm excited to finally be talking to students because I keep hearing all the great things and everybody's like, you got to talk to the students because they're going to tell you the same thing. So I was like, great, I can't wait. So I want to start off with, and Jarrett said earlier, ladies first. So Sydney, tell me why Northwood? Why did you choose Northwood? How'd you end up here?
Yeah, so actually, I play soccer. So actually, I was interested in Northwood because at first of athletics and, playing soccer and getting recruited that way. And then I actually had an older cousin who he's like 30 now. He graduated from Northwood. So it was kind of like in the family, heard about it. And then really soccer is what brought me on campus. And then immediately came for an admissions tour and went through that whole thing. And then like immediately fell in love with it. I know it's like cliche to say, like when you step on campus, you like fall in love with the school, but that's really what happened to me.
I feel the same way. That's what I've said as well being up here is there's not been anything negative yet. I mean, you step onto campus and you feel like family and you feel like you're at home. And I'm like, why didn't I come here? But Jarrett, what about you? What brought you to Northwood?
So kind of the same thing. I played football here for 4 years. So kind of that helped draw me in. But I also grew up right here in Midland, Michigan. So I always thought my whole life I had to get out of Midland. Northwood was never really an option until I started getting recruiting. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I came on campus, took a tour, met some people, and I instantly fell in love. I knew that even though that I was still staying in Midland and that was my anti-goal, you could kind of say, but as soon as I stepped foot on there and I met some people and I truly found out what Northwood was all about, I knew there was no other place for me.
That's awesome. I feel like mic drop and we're done. Not really though. Sydney, talk to me a little bit about your focus is marketing. Sort of what does that program look like and what are you hoping to do, here very soon when you've graduated?
Yeah, so I did the accelerated BBA MBA program, similar. Actually, me and Jarrett are in the same class right now together, getting our master's. But so it's a 3-year, you get your bachelor's and then you finish off your last year and you get your master's. So I got my undergrad in marketing and kind of applied that to a lot of extracurriculars that happen on campus. We have the auto show, which is completely student ran, the fashion show that I really got involved in. Each of those I had department head positions and kind of like worked my way up across the 4 years. But it really was just taking everything that I learned in the classroom and that Northwood taught me as a freshman, because right when you come onto campus your freshman year, you like really get into your
you're taking major classes day one.
Not your gen eds. You have a few, but like you're mostly getting in.
My first class, my first day of freshman year was Intro to Finance. There was no general educations, no oceanography, things like that. It was day one, I took Intro to Finance.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that also helps you when you have these big student events on campus. There's no other way but just to get involved with them because you're starting these major classes your first day of college.
And it embraces that learning too. You're putting it into real world applicable situations. You're not learning things out of a textbook and then getting shipped off to the real world. All these opportunities at Northwood, you're taking them and just putting them right into action your second week on campus after you learned it day one.
And also too, I think I guess it relates to marketing, but I remember freshman year, like that one of our first classes, we made a LinkedIn. Like that was like the first thing that we did, and that you don't see that at other schools. Like they'll use LinkedIn, but Northwood implemented that in us and networking and branching out and building your network right away, which I think, again, you don't see at other schools.
Yeah, that same class, you learned how to write a resume, write a cover letter, how to professionally reach out to individuals trying to gain more opportunities that are already presented to you at Northwood and kind of set yourself out as a candidate compared to everyone else in the nation.
Yeah. And I even remember my department head chair, Alicia Beckrell, and she played a major role in my undergrad. And that also just goes to say that 1 to 15 class ratio that we have. Like you get super close with your professors and even getting to know their network and, seeing their connections and their contacts. Like they want to help you succeed outside the classroom. And I remember a lot of our professors would come to our games. So seeing them on the sidelines too was always nice.
Always. I mean, I like that with our finance chair, Brian Rang. I have his personal cell number. I could call him right now and he could pick up. He could be in class right now. He'd still pick up. Hey, Jarrett, what's going on? What do you need, buddy? Like it's just that insane connection you make with your professors.
See, we could just like keep mic dropping here. Tell me, so I think Jarrett, like you alluded to, like this wasn't an option. You wanted to get out. I can relate to that. I felt the same way when
Yeah.
I was ready to graduate high school. Um, what is one thing that you wished you would have known before you decided to take that plunge and come here? What is something that maybe you didn't learn until you got here, or maybe would have made you, you know, think this was a place to go before, or something to that?
More, I think the best thing is expanding on the knowledge of what opportunities truly are available to you at Northwood. I mean, it's kind of the day you step on campus and the day you start talking to people, you understand that. But until you start that conversation with someone that's involved with the university, I don't think those opportunities are 100% the clearest. And I just know, obviously, Sydney too, like we've both done a lot of great things at Northwood and been super involved in just that capability of doing those crazy things. And that's just it's one of the best things we try to tell like our student ambassadors who help reach out to prospective students, things like that, that want to come to Northwood is embrace on that because that is the difference maker. That is what makes Northwood the best school in the nation.
I'd say from my standpoint too, I didn't realize, to go back to the student-led events, how massive they were. Like we run the largest outdoor new car show and it's all by students. So
Yeah.
from like the buses and getting the cars on campus and like talking to project plant and security, that's all the students running all the events throughout that weekend, talking to admissions and getting prospective students on campus. I just think the severity of how big these events are just goes to show like when you come on campus, you're motivated by your classmates too. You hear them getting involved in these big events and you want to get involved too. So I think just the type of student that comes to Northwood is so determined, so has such a big work ethic and whatnot that you almost just want to be a part of that too. So I think a lot of times too, like your classmates motivate you. I know
Yeah.
in like grad school, like you don't show up to class, you're like, where are you? Like, are you okay? Like, where are you at? So I think it just goes to show too, the self-discipline that we all have and our eagerness to want to get involved on campus.
And kind of going into what she said about the auto show, like everyone's kind of heard like Northwood hosts an auto show, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But until you are a part of it and truly learn about it, no one really understands that it is the largest outdoor auto show in North America.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other show that compares to it. But until you see it, embrace it, learn more about it, it's not really that clear. But as soon as you are a part of it and see it, you understand the true greatness that it holds.
Yeah, and I
How
wasn't
much it
even
is.
an automotive major. And my freshman year, there was an older soccer girl who was on Team Genesis. And so she was co-captain, and then the captain of that booth needed people and was like, hey, reach out. And he kind of got me like, hey, let's go,
Mm-hmm.
let's get involved, be on my team. Like, I'll show you, like, help you around. We'll, get you kind of involved in the show. And like I still talk to him now, like see what he's doing. He's at a really big corporate job right now, like succeeding, but it just you really create great connections and bonds with not just in your grade, but like overall, like all levels, all um, you know, undergrad, masters, or So I just think too, like people want you to succeed here
It's a
so
very
bad.
tight sense of community and family at
Yeah.
Northwood. It's not, especially even with the professors that we talked about earlier, you're not a number in a giant lecture hall with 400 other people. I mean, we kind of talked about it with our professors too, but I mean, even how she said, like if in grad school, if you're not there, one of your classmates reach out. I missed a finance class once and my professor emailed me. He's like, hey, no worries that you weren't in class today, but I just want to make sure everything's all right. Just wanted to reach out and they want you to be there. And he sent me the notes for everything that we went over that day. Like, this is what we went on. If you need extra help, just let me know. Like, it's just that sense of everything is geared towards student success.
That's awesome. So what would you tell so I was the student. So when I graduated high school, I went to a very small high school. We had 65 in our graduating class. 6 of them were foreign exchange students, so very small. And I wanted out. I wanted nothing to do with anything small. Why should I have opened up my heart to somewhere like Northwood to come here when I wanted nothing but a large school to go to?
I guess I can kind of relate to that because I was kind of on the edge if I wanted to play collegiate soccer and be an athlete. And then because I also wanted to have that big
Mhm.
school experience. But as kind of I committed here and did play soccer, I kind of was so happy with the choice that I did make to come to a smaller school. I think for me personally, I'm really hands-on and like, a smaller um, atmosphere and smaller class size to get to know my professors and get to know the people next to me. So as I kind of got older, it kind of like more aligned with my with my values and what I wanted. But I think too, like maybe a bigger school is an easier route for some people or for some people. So I think going against like really what me at the time, maybe what I wanted to now, like I'm so happy that like I really went with my gut and chose a smaller school. And at the time too, I really wanted to study abroad, and I know Northwood had many study abroad opportunities, and that was something also that really intrigued me. I ended up not studying abroad, but that was also something that really attracted me to Northwood.
I think too, like there are attributes to Northwood that give you the big school feel.
Mhm.
Even though your classes are 20 kids and you have those one-on-one connections, also Northwood, like the sense of community I was talking about earlier, like you know everyone on campus. So you have pushing 1,800 friends on campus and people that you know, and Northwood sticks together. Like all the students know each other, all the students do things together. Yeah, I think you would agree too.
Oh, there's so many RSOs, like
Yeah,
student-ran
and
organizations on campus. It's actually crazy for how small we are.
yes,
We have so many, so
those
many.
opportunities.
So
Yeah.
talk to me about that. So if we have students that want to enroll and they get enrolled, what is there for them to do?
Oh my gosh.
So there are currently 47 RSOs. I know of two that are currently in the process of starting as well, so that'll push it to 49. And there's everything you can imagine. There's Greek life. We have three frets, three sororities. We have the auto club, the auto show, the Stafford dinner, hospitality club, student health organization,
Lifting club.
lifting
There's
club,
like,
ski and snowboard club. They
um,
go in the wintertime, they go on the weekends and just go ski and snowboard together. They get a group that's all involved and they go have a good time. Like anything you could imagine, there's a good chance that Northwood has it as an RSO. And if it's not, you can start it in a week. Like it's all you have to do is get a faculty member to sign off, and just like the opportunities we've been talking about. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
mhm.
It's Northwood instills that environment toward that lets you do what you want. It gives you that sense of freedom, that drive, that if you're determined to do something, Northwood will help you provide to get it done, to achieve that goal, find that mission and overcome it. So
That's awesome. So, and thinking about everything that you both have been involved with, and now as you're hopefully starting to reflect on your last few years, getting ready to step out into the real world, like favorite memory, favorite experience, like what's your one thing, like in 50 years when you're looking back and you're telling your grandkids about your days at Northwood, like what is it that you're remembering?
So I have two tied. One's an athletics one is a sports
I was
one.
about to say, I both too.
So the athletics one, we beat, this was my senior year for football. I'm now retired. We beat our rival, Saginaw Valley State University, in the Axe Bowl, we call it. It's a big Axe's trophy, and we beat them this year for the first time since 2017. It was phenomenal. I mean, we had a new head coach, Dustin Buer, who's done amazing things with our program 2 years ago. He's done a complete transformation, made this program better than how he found it, and just kind of seeing that success come to life from all the whole hard work that I know myself personally, as well as every single one of my teammates put into that, just all of it coming to fruition was amazing and heartwarming. The other one, it was this past year's auto show. I was a co-captain for Team Brembo Brakes. We were in the aftermarket division with my roommate, and we negotiated with Brembo. They were never part of the show. We negotiated with them to sponsor a booth for us. They provided all the funds. They provided a bunch of resources, different things to show, things like that. I have dealership connections. I work for Garber Automotive Group. So using that, I got us some vehicles, and it was just kind of taking nothing and using our connections and turning it into something awesome that it is amazing. I wouldn't trade this past year for anything.
Well, congratulations to both. Those are both big,
Yeah, thank
big
you.
wins to
Thank you.
remember. Yeah, Sydney.
Kind of go off that, an athletic one and then like an academic one. We won my junior year last year. It was the first time that women's soccer's ever won the regular season championship and then the GMAC championship. So that was just, like you said, 3-4 years of hard work finally come together, which just, you know, freshman year you come in, you can probably relate to this. You automatically have 25. For football, it's probably like 100.
140.
Yeah. But 140 like to 25 just best friends automatically coming in.
Day one.
Yeah. And I think that was really big, just having a group of girls just all work for one common goal and to just go through being an athlete together was just awesome. And I wouldn't have never done it differently. Like I'm so happy that I was an athlete and now I have all these best friends for life now. And then to kind of go off the academic side, just all the opportunity that came with being a student. And really, Northwood gives you all the resources to be successful, but it's up to you on what you do with them. And I was a marketing major, and I ended up making a really good connection with LG Bright. And the past 3 years, I've gone on 3 to 5 trips. I went to Women in Automotive Conference, and from that, just getting all this knowledge about the automotive industry and meeting these wonderful women and other people in the automotive world just really widened my network and my knowledge about the industry. And then I went to NADA, which this past in New Orleans, which was just an incredible experience. So I think that Northwood just really gives you the tools to succeed, and like to go off networking too. Now I have a job. I'm working for Toyota in Baltimore, Maryland this upcoming summer. So I'll start that. But I just think like the opportunities really are endless. Like if you have an idea here, if you want to, live this dream or have an idea that you want to come to life, Northwood definitely is the place to do that.
And it's kind of like the Northwood idea, we call it too, like freedom, self-responsibility, things like that. Like a lot of businesses, even or universities, they have these ideas or visions or mission statements that are there, but you never really see them like come to life and come to fruition for anything. But Northwood's being freedom, self-responsibility, they're kind of like what Sydney said, they're giving you all these resources and opportunities. It's what you choose to do with them is what you take out of it.
Like we live by those.
Yeah.
Like I know, like we talk about them in class, and even President Kent McDonald will always, no matter where we are, if he's giving a speech or at an event, like he'll always bring them up. You're just in bed with that, like
Yeah.
your 4 years, and you really take that into your work and into what you're doing, like to fulfill these things and these tasks.
One of our VPs, Dr. Matt Bennett, he's been great. I've connected with him lately through my student employment role at Northwood, and he gave me the athletic analogy that Northwood students are kind of like football players, and when you draft a Northwood student, they're ready to play day one. Whereas other universities, when they get drafted, they have to train for a couple of years in order to succeed in the career space. Where as soon as you put a Northwood student out in the real world, they already have experience that may be underlying or that you don't know about, but they all have it. So as soon as they head into that industry space or anything like that, they're succeeding and ready to go day one. They're breaking barriers.
I know I will say too, my parents were up here this past weekend, and they just said, like, kind of reflecting on my last 4 years, like I don't even really recognize the person you came in freshman year till now. Like you've changed in such like a good way, and more so in like the workspace and putting myself out there and, building connections and meeting new people. The school transforms you and just gets you ready for that next step in your career.
I like have the chills. I think it's wonderful. And I had a question. Talk to me about, and I've actually got two. You're like sending me down the path that I'm like hearing and thinking. Talk to me about, I saw this beautiful, I'm going to call it a mural. It's not. It was several images along the walls talking about the fresh air concept. Talk to me about like, what is fresh air? What does that even mean? What does that mean to you? How has that have been embedded to you as students?
So that's our code of ethics. Each letter stands for a different attribute that Northwood students kind of embody, and live by, because it is our code of ethics, and everything ties into each other. It ties into the Northwood idea. It ties into everything. I know the first two are freedom and responsibility, just how we talked about the Northwood idea. Fresh air, the first two letters are F and R, freedom, responsibility, just kind of taking those attributes that Northwood instills in you, or even if you already have them, they bring out a better side of that from you, and just taking that and applying it to anything and everything you do, because it will help you grow and succeed as a person, no matter what you're doing, whether you're playing a sport, running a business, interviewing for a business, doing a podcast, things like that. Like just those attributes, they bring out or grow them out of you and take you to the next level.
And I know even alumni too that still will use these attributes in their career and their job. Like they just don't go away after your 4 years. They're still instilled in you, and you still look at them and reflect on them and embody them just as much as you would at Northwood.
It's like the analogy, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Very fair. What about, Jarrett, I heard you mention working on campus. What jobs are there for students looking to have a job while they're going through school? What sort of opportunities, and how have you felt about those opportunities?
So there are endless opportunities on campus for on-campus employment. And Northwood, kind of circling back to all of us, creating a holistic view, they take those ideas, like things we learn, management, things like that, I work in our admissions department with Dr. Christy McDonald over there. And she's great. She's given me a lot of responsibility that allow me to grow on my leadership, allow me to grow on management, things like that, to where I now help coordinate all of our student ambassadors. So I'm taking all of those different tactics and ideas and really putting them into play, and it's allowing me to grow outside of the classroom in a workspace environment, and just keep continuing to develop who I am as a leader, as a manager, as a Northwood student, as a peer on campus, just kind of tie everything together and continue to grow and develop.
I know. I work at the library right now, and to kind of go off what Jarrett said, I had Northwood sets you up for real world experiences, opportunities. So I remember I actually had like a full interview with Miss Becky at the library, and I called my mom after. I'm like, Mom, I think that was the hardest interview I ever had. Like, I was so like, oh my gosh. But Northwood, just everything has a purpose at Northwood. Like, they even auto show. All the department heads, as you kind of work your way up, when you interview for a team captain, and even some team captains, it's up to them, but they'll interview their team members.
Yep.
So just kind of going through the interview process so young, and at, freshman year, you're, going through the interview process and creating a resume and building a cover page. And I think they just start you right away, so that when you do go into the real world and you're interviewing for jobs your junior, senior year, those interviews are just such a breeze, because you practice your 4 years and you've had different scenarios where you were able to apply yourself, even at career fairs.
Yeah.
Will come in and you probably interviewed on the spot, or had like Hendrix would come,
Yeah.
and they would hey, let's go out to dinner tonight. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Hendrix. Let's talk about what you're doing. So kind of just the opportunity aspect again, I think is really big.
And I mean, kind of going off to what you said with like the interview part. I mean, I know first part of freshman year, first semester, it was, even though a career fair was coming up in the fall, it's hard to find a job as a freshman, or people want to take you as an internship. But we'll get into that in a minute. But everyone wants Northwood students, no matter what year you are. But with that, like they said, go, because if you botch a couple interviews, okay, you're a freshman even if you aren't even looking for an internship right now, you kind of get those first out of the way, shake your nerves off, to where when you're going to them sophomore, junior, senior year, trying to get another internship or a full-time job, those internships are like nothing. Like, you come in confident, all the right things to say, how to answer questions the right way, just how to handle yourself and be confident, and know that value yourself, and know that value going into those interviews, that not only do you really want that position, but that position has a value in you as well, sees a value in you.
Yeah, and I think professors too really give you the confidence to go. I had many classes my freshman year that, hey, no class today, but I'll see you at the career fair. Bring your resume. And even classes before that, it was, we're going to have a, resume workshop. Bring your resume, let's build it up. And like Jarrett said, it's okay to learn from, freshman year, okay, this is what I can expect the spring career fair, or this is what I'm looking forward to in the fall. And I've had numerous companies there that have like seen me all my 4 years and like, oh, hey, how are you?
You're back again.
Yeah.
Got
yeah, I'm ready now. But I think that, having that Northwood network where you can go to career fairs and they're not even Northwood related, but they know your name. And I think it's so important to just kind of put yourself out there and attend these career fairs at such a young age. So when you do get to your junior, senior year, you're so prepared and you're so ready. It's a breeze.
So talk to me a little bit about, and you've touched on this, both have touched on this a little bit, all of the sort of etiquette training that you've been given over your years here, because there's a lot of important things the resume building, you ever knowing how to put your resume together, the interview sort of settings, like what else, when you leave here, if you put all academics aside, you're like, I'm prepared for the real world because they've given me what?
Yeah, I mean, Northwood has everything to prepare you for a successful professional career, from building a resume to creating your LinkedIn profile, writing a cover letter. Our English classes take a section out of their curriculum to teach you how to write a memo, how to write a professional email, how to write a proposal, things like that, all the way to our career services staff hosts a professional etiquette dinner here at the H Hotel right next to us here, just how to eat properly and politely in a professional manner when you're at an atmosphere or a space like that where it's necessary. So and even our career closet, they help you get the clothes necessary to show up to a job interview, and stand out, be that professional self that Northwood creates. I mean, pretty much every attribute that someone could want in a professional career, Northwood teaches it to you and shows you the ropes.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the student-led events because those played a really crucial part of my Northwood career, but um, like auto show. I was a captain and then or a team member, co-captain, and then I was the signature events chair. So I ran all the events that took place on campus throughout those 4 days. So from Thursday to Sunday, Thursday night preview, doing VIP panels and bringing in higher executives from across the country. I did that on my own with, a team below me that helped me along the way. But when you put, 20 students in there, like you learn how to work in a very, very professional setting and talk to people who have been in the industry for, 20 plus years. So I think the level of maturity that takes and confidence and trust in Northwood to have 20 students, 25 students, and then everyone from team members to captains run this event, like Northwood just trusts their students so much and believes in them so well where they can do these massive events like this. And I think too, like fashion show. I remember my freshman year, it was there was a little runway, it was like on the ground leveled, and now this year it was elevated and there was
huge stage, lights,
500
speakers.
seats.
Yeah.
So I just also think so too during our time here every year, just the auto show getting bigger and the fashion show getting bigger and all these RSOs building. I think it just goes to show how well students are now being able to work together and collaborate, and just each year they just want the younger class to be better than they were.
And part of that too is how involved Northwood encourages not only all students but younger classes as well, freshmen, sophomores, so that when freshmen are in there doing it, helping out their first year, then they can start building out next year. Like, oh, we did this last year. It went well, but it could be better. Let's try and implement this year. Just those gradual changes that, like she's talking about the fashion show. I mean, a lot of people were involved our freshman year, but they were young too. So that as they kept growing, the show kept growing, and it kept getting bigger, better, things like that.
Yeah, the bar's just always set so high for Northwood students for sure. And I think being an athlete too, if there's prospective students that are athletes and looking to be a part of Northwood, you can probably relate to my coaching staff was so open and supportive of me doing all these extra curricular activities. And I think that also helps too, because being an athlete is hard, you practices and you're on away weekends and you're traveling, but having a good supportive coaching staff, I would say across all Northwood campus, coaches are very, very supportive of having their athletes get involved on campus and doing things. And hey, I'm running 15 minutes late to practice because I had to do a panel or I had to give an admissions tour. They're very, very supportive.
And I'd say even going off that, like I've walked into team meetings for football late because I was at an interview or a meeting and things like that. And our coach, he stopped the meeting and goes, well, how'd it go? How was it? What happened? Did you get something out of it? Like one was for a meeting with Brembo Brakes, trying to set up that booth, get everything, all the logistics worked out. And I saw my shirt and tie and everything. I'm walking in the meeting. I was sweating because I was late. That's just who I am. If I'm late, I'm nervous, sweating. But I walked in and he stopped the team meeting. He was in the middle of film and he clicked the clicker and paused the play. He goes, well, did you get the deal signed? Like, I did. And he's just congratulated me. Everyone started clapping. It was just, and that kind of ties into the community and everything as well. Just everything all ties together. And it's amazing.
I love it. So what's next, guys? You're done in a couple weeks. What's next?
Yeah, so we graduate 2 weeks. Is that it? All the weeks. Yeah. So coming up, and then we'll be here till end of July to finish out grad school. And then I'm headed to Annapolis where I'll work for Toyota North America. I'll be in the MT program for about a year, and then I'll kind of move on and move up the ladder. Start.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be sticking around here. I work for Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. I'll start my career as a sales professional, and then I'll take my learning and knowledge that I've gained through Northwood and do my best to climb the ranks and see where my career can take me in the auto industry.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, guys. This is has filled my bucket so full today. I cannot tell you. And I thought all of the folks that I've gotten to speak to here have filled my bucket, but this has definitely taken it to the next level for me. So I really hope that Dr. McDonald will keep me posted on what the two of you are doing, because I have no doubts you're going to do just incredible things. I think you're going to go way beyond what you think you're going to do. So as we conclude, one last thing, if you can leave our students with one thing, what would you want them to know?
Don't be afraid to stick your neck out. Go do the things you want to do. I mean, even if you don't think you have the best chance at getting the job, getting the internship, running the event, doing something, stick your neck out. Even if failure is the best teacher you'll ever have. And even if you don't get it this time, as soon as something else comes up, you'll be that much more ready and confident and be ready to overcome it, you know? I mean, just, I know me personally, I know Sydney too, just because I've known her for 4 years now, but as soon as we get turned down for something, it puts a chip on your shoulder and you want to go get it again. So kind of, it gives you your own motivation. So just always stick your neck out there, reach for more, you know, stick your hand up in the air. If I told you to reach as high as you can, and that's it, reach a little higher, you'll always be able to go a little higher, no matter what happens. So just keep going.
Yeah, I'd say start early, take a risk, talk to people. I know always pull up a chair for someone next to you. I think back to, like, again, auto show, because it played such a huge role in my 4 years. If that senior never said, "Hey, can you be a part of my team?" I don't think I would have had the impact that I had in the auto show. So I think for me, he set that bar and that standard so high where those next 3-4 years, I was always pulling up a chair for someone else behind me. And I know people in the auto industry, you know, who've been in their role in their career, they've done the same for me, whether it was through internships or networking or inviting me out to panels or conferences. That's something that I always want to do in my career. And I think that's so important for someone coming into Northwood. It's just good responsibility, take a risk, and just pull up a chair for someone next to you.
That kind of ties into, you just sparked my brain for a second too, but always grow other people. So Northwood kind of talked about it a lot in classes, but then it really resonated with me when I was sitting down across the table from Dick Garber, and he told me this, but you're only as good as the next person up. So a true leader, manager, if they want to move up, they have to be able to find someone to fill their role. And if that role is not going to be filled by a quality individual or someone you helped grow, then the process isn't right. So always just help grow others and celebrate the successes of others and help them achieve what they want will take you way farther than you could ever imagine.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm like tearing up now too. It's just, I hope you guys give me hope. You give me hope in our youth. You give me hope in, like, for my son's future. Like, congratulations to both of you, and, like, best wishes for everything, because you do great things. And I'm not even gonna be able to wrap up because I'm gonna start crying. Anyhow, for more information on Michigan International Prep School, head on over to miprepschool.org. Or to our social media channels, Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We'll see you next time on Reimagining Education, the podcast.
Reimagining Education is brought to you by Michigan International Prep School, a tuition-free K-12 online school. If you'd like to learn more about us and what we do, you can visit our website at miprepschool.org. That's miprepschool.org. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.